Welcome everyone to the next episode of Impactables with Reserve. Today we have Dr. Shyam Vasudevrao from Forus Health. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'll be starting with this. It's been 35 years of working journey for you. You've been into different industries, but healthcare primarily. What kept you driving for so long, and then you are starting new company now also? Like recently 4 or 5
Yeah,
years, you started
yeah.
another company. What do you feel that one factor which you kept driving all this year?
See, there is a sense of responsibility and a passion. I am basically an engineer, electronics and telecom graduate. Way back in '83, I did my engineering, and then from then on, I've been seeing how we can do as engineers. How we can contribute to the country, how we can contribute to the society more so. So if a doctor is doing a novel job of saving people from getting into health problems and all that, engineers also can do this by enabling them with technology. So today, if you see any of this healthcare, it's all lot of medical, lot of electronics, lot of what do you say, IT and all that. So from that point, the enabling technologies, we are going to serve the country in a much bigger way, the society in a much bigger way. The same doctor who can actually consult 10, 20 people a day, maybe, in a position to do it, with one doctor, can serve up to 500 people a day. So that sort of technology development is what enables us, and that is the passion which we carry. And I didn't get into healthcare from day one. I have been first. I was, as I told you, in '83 I did engineering, and then after my engineering I did my masters, and in '89 I made the first company. My first, those days we didn't even have these terms like entrepreneurship, innovation, IP, all that, or we didn't know. But
It is in
we did that.
1989.
89, yeah. So that company, my couple of three of us got together and did that. One person was a pure software guy, I was the hardware and firmware person, and then we had one Santosh Gupta, who was basically a marketing guy. So that way, we could make this product. It took me 2 days to make this, and then my friend Harsha, he wrote the entire software, and we were there with a product called Noxcard. It was a complete antivirus solution,
Okay.
like what you see today, McAfee and all that, right? Like that.
Ah.
But this is a hardware based,
Okay.
and it would stop all sorts of virus before getting in. So that sort of a thing. So that was that was a very interesting journey. We at some point, we had around 200, 300 people working just for one product, and then when I got some money, I could have done lot more things. But what I did is that I left all these things and went into Indian Institute of Science to do my PhD, because I had a passion to do my PhD, and
Which year it was?
that was in '91.
Okay. And that
Okay.
company was running.
Company was running, and I became full-time research scholar there, and I had kept a target of 3 years to finish my PhD, and I could do it in 3.5 years, and that was a very interesting journey also. And the work was also, very advanced, I would say, because even today, what we are talking about, using, doing this, what do you say, high performance computing, and all that, in the and keeping this one in the satellite, those things, exactly that is what we did. My work was on high performance computing, and I used machine learning, and those days we calling it as ANN, artificial neural networks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that is only machine learning now.
Yeah, that's the basis for machine learning, and we used AI, fuzzy logic to control the system. So that way, if you see, that was a amazing work what I could do at that time in IIC, and it also fetched me a gold medal. This one was one of the besties in that year. So that way, it's a lot of learning, lot of interesting things. But then, by the time I finished my PhD in 94, 95, the terrain had changed. This entrepreneurship and all that. We had small scale entrepreneurship those days. But what happened is that lot of companies, India opened up for the global market, and big companies like Honeywell or Moocs Controls, and so many of them started to get into this embedded system space. And my competency was more in that area, the hardware and so on. So there was not much scope. So I wanted to see, that the world was moving towards software. We had HPs and IBMs and Motorola's and all these guys here. And I wanted to see what is that they are doing so big. So that is when, I got into big corporates and started to work with Ericsson.
Ericsson.
Yeah.
It is there
So,
now also.
Yeah. So Ericsson wanted to start an R&D in India. And for a short time after PhD, I was working in a company called CG Smith Software, where we were actually onboarding a lot of companies and creating offshore development centers. So I was in charge of telecom part. And I had set up a ODC. I was taking care of an ODC for Harris Communication, US. It's a Greensboro company. Then we started to work with EDS. And I was, those days itself, for internet, internet apps and all development, we started that. So there I was having around 3-4 people. But that time I got an opportunity. Ericsson wanted to set up an R&D, and they were looking for somebody who can actually do the entire one, right from registration to everything, the STPI. Those days, STPI registration, you have to do all that. So it was a very interesting journey. So it was again another type of entrepreneurship, but under a big umbrella. So that is how got into corporate world.
Okay.
So this corporate world took me to a lot of places. After a year or so, we had to set up a internet became more this one. So we started data services on the mobile, and we needed IP competence. So there was a center in Hyderabad, and then that got linked up to this, and then we got a center for billing systems and all that, which was actually in partnership with HP, and that was in Delhi. So that way, it was the R&D grew in 3 cities. And also what we saw was those days there was China was just starting to do software and all that. So there also we had an opportunity to start a R&D center in Shanghai. So I was a mentor for that center.
Which year it was?
This was already in 97.
I got born that time.
So Shanghai was also very, it was not very posh and all that as what we see today. I could see Shanghai, developing in a big way. So that way, we had a lot of opportunity to work with multi cultures, multi disciplines. We had people from.
And during this time, that company, Noxcard, right? That was
that closed actually, because technology change happens. This was a card, a physical.
It was
board.
Physical card.
Yeah, that you had to put it in the PC slot.
CPU, right?
Yeah, like a CPU thing.
It
was another board.
It is obviously because started.
So then what happened? PCs also big companies started to do, like HCL, Wipros, and all started to make them. And what they say is that now if you open the system, then the warranty is gone. All that. So we had to then sell only to these OEMs. But then, once you get
Very
into that,
different.
they will start squeezing you and all that. And also the form factor changed. Soon you see all those desktop PCs became laptops. So laptop mein to it is very difficult for you to put these cards and all that. So that way, it all faded off.
Post that, after Ericsson, you moved to Philips.
So then I was in Ericsson almost for a decade. And then I was then in 98, 99, I think late 98, I moved to Stockholm
Okay.
as a expat. And I was working there as a strategic product manager. And my role was to see, how we can sell these data services, because we had something called GPRS, as you know, 2.5G we say. So till 2G, it is only voice service. 2.5G we added data, and we had to charge for that data. So there was a challenge. So as a product manager, I had to see which area, which applications we can go and sell this. So that is when I started to look at healthcare. So we said it's a European market is more reimbursement market, and the government takes care of the entire health one. So if you see those days, they were doing bypass surgeries, and those who get bypass surgery done, even today, 3 months they have to be taken care of very properly, because
also
they
it is
cannot
very
get another.
Also, it is
heart
very
attack.
costly, right?
It's costly, but the thing is, the payment is done by the government, right?
Okay.
So individuals, people don't feel, the citizens don't feel the heat of it, but the government has to really, afford that. So what used to happen is that these sort of surgeries, when they are done, they will be, in a sort of intensive care for a week or so. That's all. After that, they are sent to a step down ICU, we say. A step down ICU is like a 3-star hotel, and only nurses are there. Doctors will not be there, and they are just keeping them there to monitor them, so that they don't get another heart attack within that 3 months. So almost for 3 months they are there in that step down ICU. So imagine how expensive it is.
Correct.
So what we did is, we said that, okay, for these people, why don't you send them home? And to monitor them, you use technology or GPRS.
That's where the Forus Health GPRS came.
No, for us, no. That was Ericsson.
Ericsson
days,
only.
yeah. So that is when we put this GPRS,
Got it.
tracking,
Tracking.
a wearable ECG type of a thing, and through that, we could monitor them remotely.
And which year it was?
This is in 99.
And that time, this
Yes,
remote wearable.
exactly. It's we are very ahead of time.
Currently, it is being used.
Yeah, today there are a lot of companies who do that, and we also have such wearable devices, which is now getting popular. But this was something which we did long ago. And that is in 2000. This was the experiment which we did, and then we got a hospital which will actually do the trials for this and all those things. That way. That is how I started to more look into healthcare.
Okay.
And
that was the time.
That was the thing. And then after that, in 2001, we had a telecom burst, all that, and then the centers out here, what we had built was sort of waved off to Wipro. And I lost interest in this company, because I've been all the while, make in India. We have to do things in India. We have to grow the center in India. So the whole purpose of me going there was also to see that, I get a network within the H1, because you are in the head office. You get connected with so many centers, all
Correct.
that, right? And internal marketing type. And I can then get a lot of work to India. That was the whole dream. But that, because of this recession or telecom burst, we couldn't do that. So next day I said I'll go back
To India.
To India. They had
And
offered
which
a
was this
local
year?
job.
Which was this?
2001.
2001, you came back to India.
Then I came back to India, and then joined this company that is Philips.
Okay.
And Philips was a very interesting place again, because the center out here, had around 2,000 engineers, and we call it as Philips Innovation Campus.
Where it is?
It's there. It was those days. It was on Murphy Road, near Alsur Lake.
Okay.
But then we moved to Manyata Tech Park.
During that time, Manhattan Tech Park was there.
No, the almost 2 years later,
Okay.
2-3 years later. Then from there now it has moved further. But while I was working first, in Murphy Road, and then we moved to Manyata Tech Park. So there, the whole idea was that how are we going to increase the value of the contribution from this center, captive center? Because initially when they started this center out here, it was more of a Philips software center. But then they wanted to see that, how we can be part of the global R&D and all that. And that's how they said, okay, we'll make it as a innovation campus, Philips Innovation Campus. But then I had the opportunity to be the first innovation manager there.
Okay. And over there in Philips Innovation Campus,
Yeah.
you guys used to look for the hardware products or healthcare products, whatever it is.
More than hardware or anything, it is like, you have head-end innovation. So you have a IP cell, the intellectual property cell is there. There's a lot of people doing the patent search and also filing patents and all that. That is for the global, that's a service. And then you have advanced development, research. So research division also is there. And then, you have something called as applied technology. That is, now whatever research you do and you file patents, but not everything, may get into business units.
Correct.
The main thing is that it has to get onto the roadmap and it has to get into the product. Like you have a digital TV, now in digital TV, you are going to put in something where you are doing image enhancement or audio enhancements, all these Dolby, Gilbys, all these things, whatever, that way.
Okay.
The same thing on the healthcare side also. So for that, you have this applied technologies, and then you have the business units.
Okay.
Business units can be consumer electronics, it can be healthcare, like that.
Like that.
So the concept of innovation campus is that, you have all of them in one place.
And you worked till what time over there?
So I was then, first we started to look into consumer electronics because I was the innovation manager for the entire one. So then in 2 years, that started going down. That is, means, the demand for consumer electronics came down and healthcare started to become more prominent.
Got it.
And by the time, in 2010, we saw that only healthcare was the only thing. So I worked first consumer electronics. I used to, my work was, in terms of creating awareness about patents, awareness about, and encouraging people to start filing patents, and also, advanced development activity. So you don't have any particular product or something, but you have to think about what can come next into this particular product. So what you do is you bid for a project at the CTO's office, in Netherlands will call for these proposals, and you have to bid for that, and then internally and then if you win that project, then that advanced development project you do here. And at the end of that, that project, this whatever you have done should get onto the roadmap of a particular product.
Got it.
That is the thing.
But what made you move from Philips to starting your own company after working for, say, suppose 20 years?
Exactly. So they all the while, there was a one that, what I noticed is that when we were in Ericsson or in Philips, we are only trying to do something, for the Western world or for the developed countries.
Okay.
Hardly anything, you are doing for the local, for me and my community, as you say. So that was somehow bothering me. And I got an opportunity to basically, work with a team, diverse team, to create some product or technology for India. Philips, the CTO at that time, he wanted us to do that. Or when Herard Crestali, he was the CMD, he challenged us saying that, Arey, GE and all are doing so much of for India, from India and all these sort of local development. They do something here, test it out, and then once it is stabilized, then you try to export it. So it gets into the global market. You guys, why you can't think of something like that? That was the whole challenge. They created something, we created a virtual group called India Business Creation Center, IBC and all that. And we started to do a lot of inside gathering. And it was very, it was a good training, I would say, for me. I could learn a lot of innovation technology, techniques and all that, how to do the immersion sessions, how to do design thinking, all these sort of things. And finally, what my learning was that I said, in healthcare, if you want to do something which is more inclusive and it's also affordable, then the only thing is that you have to promote preventive care. Prevention is better than cure. We have been hearing from our great-great-grandfathers. But if you see how much of preventive care do you have, any technology or anything? There is nothing except for digital thermometer, a BP apparatus, or a weighing machine, a glucometer. Is that enough? No. So that is where I started to think in terms of how to address this problem, and that is a big gap. And neither Philips or Siemens or GE are doing anything in that space.
And which particular disease, or I would say which particular we target?
So that is the next thing. So this was the question which is very obvious. So what we said is that we did a study and all that, and we said that, okay, there are two types of disease. One is communicable diseases like infections and all that, like COVID we saw, but that time COVID was not there. One is that is the infectious disease. So infectious diseases, communicable disease, basically, it will come and then, it is one time you either vaccinate or you get some and it's gone. It's not a permanent thing. But the much bigger problem is the non-communicable disease.
Okay.
Like diabetes, hypertension, COPD. These are, even cancer today is considered as non-communicable disease. Correct. Or a chronic disease. That is the one which is a bigger problem. So we said we have to see how we can enable people to detect this problem at an early stage. So diabetes, everybody thinks, okay, glucose dekh liya, then I am actually, I know I am having diabetes or not. It is not so simple.
Okay.
The thing is, if that glucose is high, then they go to the doctor, and then the doctor will tell, okay, you take this tablet, and then this guy goes on taking the tablet for the rest of the life. But our body is not like that. For some of them, within 6 months itself, they get immune to that tablet. Drug resistant they develop.
And they need to take for the rest of the life.
And they don't know that, I got immune to it. It is like, then taking a chalk piece. Okay. So it is like that. So the problem of these communicable diseases is that chronic disease is that they are systemic diseases. For a person with diabetes, they will develop eye problem called diabetic retinopathy. They will develop kidney problem called diabetic nephropathy. They will develop foot problem called diabetic neuropathy. And if you continuously ignore all these things, knowingly or unknowingly, then it will go to the big vessel that is called cardiopathy.
Okay.
So that way, so it is how do you get to know that I am now slipping into the next stage?
Got it.
From a chronic stage to acute stage. That is the biggest issue. So that is where you need some technology help. That is where you need some technical, some device or something like that. So that awareness and also the device and these sort of things, we said we will have to do. And in that, specifically you look at ophthalmology, because there are two places where you can detect this problem at a early stage. One is the ophthalmologist. Even though diabetes is not, diabetologist is the one who looks at diabetes, but the thing is most of them get caught when they go to the eye doctor.
Why?
Because when the eye doctor is looking at the eye, they can see the retina and tell, oh, you have got uncontrolled diabetes.
Okay, and that's the reason they say that you got hypertension also.
That is another comorbidity. That also is a systemic disease. So that is where you need some instrumentation, some technology.
So you developed something for the eye part.
I did first. I proposed this eye thing.
And what is that device?
It's called Trinetra.
Trinetra.
It is a all-in-one device. Basically, see, if you see in a community, you have the ophthalmology, all these eye hospitals and all are in big cities and towns, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if it has to be taken to the population, rural and all that, T2, T3 and all that, you can't ask them to come all the way to the big cities to get this done.
Correct.
That is why, we said, can we not put all this outpatient department of the eye hospital into one equipment?
Mm-hmm.
Because now there are 4-5 equipment what is used. Now we put all that into one. That was the innovation what we did. And it comes at fraction of a cost. And this can be taken into the rural area and you can screen mass population. And through tele-ophthalmology, we will be in a position to detect.
So Trinetra is a device which is being set up in eye care hospitals and all those things.
It is a portable
device. How big is the device?
It's a small device. It is only this much.
So, for example, if I go for an eye checkup in any eye hospital or any clinic also, over there this Trinetra can also be there.
Yes.
There
are a lot of Trinetras in all these places.
In Bangalore also we'll find.
Everywhere.
And if I want to know the functionalities, if I get my eye checkup via Trinetra, what all things I will get from that?
Oh, there is the eye problems, you can classify into two types. One is the anterior part, that is the cornea, where, you are having infections like, Madras eye, they say, right? That one. Or it can be repeated infection, can cause something called trachoma. And then there is also the cataract, which is the most prominent among the anterior segment. And also refractive errors. That is short sight, long sight, all that.
Okay, that also.
These are all
instead of normal
anterior
device,
segment.
not normal eye checkup device. This can also be used.
All this can be done. And then there is the retina.
Okay.
There is the back of the eye. All chronic problems you detect through the retina, like glaucoma, macular degeneration, diabetic retina, all that.
Okay, via that. And this doesn't happen in normal device. Normal eye care device, right?
Yes, exactly. This is a special device.
Got it.
In hospitals, they have separate. They have diabetes for retina imaging. They have one device. For refraction, they have another device. For glaucoma, they have another device.
So you eventually started a hardware company. If I talk about mostly it's a hardware.
A medical device
company. Over the years, in how many? This is still there, right?
It's still
over the years. How many clinics or hospitals this device is there or implemented?
So what we do is that this is this device is actually complementing the existing hospital equipment.
Yes.
Like for example, we have a hospital like Narayana Netralaya you take. And Narayana Netralaya will have a lot of these smaller centers in rural areas and all that. So in those areas, that smaller centers and all will use this device.
Okay.
And then that gets connected to the main center through telemedicine. So that is how we have this one. So to till today, what we call it as a vision center, we say.
Okay.
The smaller centers are called vision center as per WHO. And these vision centers They don't need all those experts. They can just, we can manage that with only one device. So that is the idea. So till today we have more than 3,700
Vision centers
devices.
or devices.
Yeah, in so many centers.
And primarily you guys
in
have
around
implemented-
80 plus countries, we have this.
So not only in India, it's
Not only in India, it is there across 80 countries.
And this is a completely you yourself started and you never raised money and all something like.
No, we did that. Me and my friend Chandrasekhar, we started this, and we now have quite a big one. And Chandrasekhar takes care of the ophthalmology thing, that is Forus Health.
Forus Health.
Then I started this nephrology thing called Renalyx in 2013.
It's also a device.
That's another
So it is
another
launched,
company.
It is launched or you are researching over that?
No, we have actually launched this product. We have actually licensed this product to Bharat Electronics. We are a technology provider or a technology partner for Bharat Electronics. So we are a collaborative R&D partner there. And one model has been given to them. And then I have made an advanced model, which actually we are now manufacturing it and selling it in a big way.
So I think you have a love for hardware then, I would say.
It's a device, I would say, full system.
Full system.
That is system, yeah.
System plus more of a devices
Yeah,
kind of, because
exactly.
you built first that antivirus.
Yes.
You worked in companies.
Yes.
There also innovation into products.
Yes.
Then after
That is
this.
because of my electronics background.
Electronics
Yes.
background. Very interesting.
Electronics and communication.
All these years, like you worked with multiple set of people.
Yes.
How difficult or easy it was to always form a team? Initial days of your career, if you Renalyx you started recently, 4-5 years, right?
No, Renalyx also, it's 2013 we
2013.
started, but actively, from 2015 onwards.
Got it.
So last
You
10
started
years.
this. How difficult or easy was it to form team actually? Because mindset got shift. People were not that stable. People want to keep exploring.
Yeah.
How did you manage this particular thing?
See, the thing is, for me, I have a special affinity towards academics also.
Okay.
So I have been working with lot of engineering colleges and all that. I am on the governing council of more than a dozen colleges, and I keep helping them to do innovations. In BMS College, we started a Center for Innovation. Then I work with the Deshpande Foundation and all these places.
Okay.
So what I do is that I get interns, and if I need one person, I get 4 of them. So at least in that, 1 or 2 will be good. So we recruit like that. So that way, that we have never faced a problem of getting people. And it's a technology keeps changing fast. So a person with around a fresher, if I groom him for 1 or 2 years, they become as good as a person with 10 years experience.
That's always I remember. And in this, like today, when you see MedTech companies when they are starting something, it's not a 1 year, 2 year journey. It's a longer journey, 5 years, 10 years until you start seeing results. Exactly. I would not say result. Actually, your product is going.
Yes.
What is the one thing which you see is lacking now? Like so many people are getting into MedTech industry, R&D. Like lot of AI is also coming into this industry.
Exactly.
What is one thing which you see is lacking a lot that people are not able to sustain after a certain moment? Because people start. I see a lot of people stop in between.
Yes. This is very much true because see, in our education system itself, we divide them into biology guys separate, engineering separate, and then the guys who went into engineering, they realized that I have to do medical device or biotech, and now they are getting into the biotech field. So they don't have even basic biology, they won't have studied.
Okay.
So what happens is that it becomes very difficult for them to cope up with this thing. More than anything, engineers are one set of people, doctors are another set. The doctors don't mix with the engineers because we didn't have such campuses where engineering and medicine and all that is in one place. You see only engineering colleges, the medical colleges are separate.
Correct.
It's only now that, universities have started. Now there are state universities and deemed universities and all, where, you have both engineering and medicine and other sciences also in one place. So that environment is the one which actually is lacking. And more we need such a thing. And that will actually fuel this new medical device development and even new drug development and all that. So,
Because since you gifted me a book today,
yeah.
thank you so much for the book. The title is How to Transform Success. For all your life, actually, first of all, how did you define success from your individual perspective? And for someone actually, when they expel in their life 5 years,
Yeah.
10 years, 15 years, 20 years, how they should transform their success?
This is a very important thing which I've been continuously working on. See, success is always looked at in the general sense. Somebody has made good money. He is going in a posh car. अरे यार वो बहुत successful आदमी है. That is the thing. But actually, if you see as an individual, the person, they will not be contented with it, because money is one thing. If you don't have money, you say, okay, I should get some money. But once you get some money, you'll say, I want more money. There is no end for it. So the person, a millionaire will always like to become a billionaire. Once he becomes a billionaire, he wants to be multi-billionaire. So that way, you see, if we take money as the main thing, then you will never be successful. And then if you see, there are so many of them who have become billionaires and multi-billionaires and all that. But then, if you ask them, what is the most exciting thing in your life, or what you have, then they will say something which is like, yeah, I had one, I actually, sponsored a person who had lost his limbs for a paramedic thing. I take care of his new foot or something, and then he won the race. That was more exciting to me. So basically, what I'm saying is that success would be in 3 stages. That is, one is you measure success based on revenue and earnings and all that. That is, for a sustainability, everybody needs that. The second thing is what social impact you made. That is very important. So if I have done something where I'm in a position to help somebody or make a change in the society, that is the second thing which we measure. Means number of life touched. Okay, that is one of the other factor to be considered. And the third important thing is how environment friendly you are. Environment is not, I am not talking about only air pollution or whatever, but environment is the surrounding, your environment. You are here with your own people and all that. How friendly you are with that, and how much of you are taking care of the plants and everything. That is the third thing. So I would say that this triple bottom line is what is to be considered to or for somebody's success. So this can be applied to individual, it can be applied to companies, it can be applied to countries, everything. So that is how I would say that we define success.
Over the years, like you have seen people doing something different things. Now we see different domains are coming, different things are coming.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to advise someone who is very younger, like 20, 25 years old kid, for you they will be a kid. For I also say kid only now. So when they, what do you suggest, like one thing which will take them to a more transformation journey of success for them?
Yeah, it's today's world. I think there is, we are in a land of plenitude.
Okay.
Everything is in abundance. You want food, you get every type of food. You want to see entertainment, you get a lot of it. Everything, So I would say that, we should not be carried off by this abundance. And we need to now have a focus. And one has to understand what is their passion. If I am having a liking towards automobile thing or something, then get deep into it and make it your profession also. The day your passion and profession is the same, no, you will start enjoying and you will be very successful. So that is what I would say. Because in this world of plenitude, it's very difficult to focus on one thing.
Correct.
So you have to discover your inner thirst. What is your passion? And perceive it to the best of your ability.
Interesting. One last thing I'll ask, like, been 35 years and you having lot of degree also, in terms of you have written book also, you have run successful company also. Till today, you want to do something, which I understood from your words.
Yeah.
What keeps you moving? Like, is there something which you want to still do? Something is left?
Yes, there is a lot, there is a lot to be done. Hardly we have done so little, ophthalmology, something, and some nephrology, something in cardiology, whatever. But there is a lot of things I feel we can do and we have to do. That is maybe, I'm looking at cancer as a next thing, where I want to see how we can do something to better the treatment and make it more affordable, and also see to it that how we can make it more personalized, so that there is no much damage caused. Because it's always like this, that okay, the operation was successful but the patient died. ऐसा नहीं होना है. That we need to see, because we are today giving so much of medicine and so much of its dosage that the cancer will go, but other things will all fail. So there is something to be done there. So those sort of things. So there is a lot of still work to be done. And more than that, I want to see that, if I made 5-6 companies, among them 2-3 during COVID time just vanished. But what I feel now is that, I want to see how I can help the youngsters to make new things and mentor them, and that is my passion. So there are a lot of incubation centers where I very actively participate. In Indian Institute of Science, we have few incubation centers. Then we have in C-Camp, and then we have in Deshpande Foundations, in Manipal, and BMS, and BNMIT, and Dayanand Sagar. All these places I go there, and we try to see how we can share our knowledge and also help people to do this newer products and newer technologies. So that's where I feel we develop capacity in this country to take up these global challenges. And I would say that, more and more, we would like to see not people becoming job seekers, but job providers like
Correct.
you. So we need to create that in our country. That is, we have the capacity and we have this one. So I also do this sort of thing that we need to also bring, multidisciplinary people together.
Correct.
So I run a research program for a Dutch university in India, one university called Maastricht University. And I'm happy that, I started that sometime in 2007, 2008 when I was in Philips. And till today, I've got around 46 PhDs done. MDs, basically doctors doing PhD, yeah.
Doctors doing PhD?
Yeah. So that is something which
45, 46?
Yes.
That's the hardest one, actually.
Yes. So that is the thing. And I have another 30 of them who are actually doing the PhD. So in the process, what is happening is I'm definitely learning a lot of that field. But more than that, we are in a position to bring that research mindset into the physicians, clinicians also. So that will be the one which will help us to develop newer and bigger technologies, greater technologies. So that is something, in our India we are lacking. We call them as clinician scientists. So we want clinicians to also become these scientists. And I already see a lot of such interdisciplinary collaborations happening, and we have big projects we have done with putting CDAC, Tata Memorial Hospital, ATRACT, and Philips together, and our Maastricht University. So new technologies, virtual tumor board, that sort of things we have done. So like that, this is now there is no boundaries at all, particularly for research and education. The world is all one village now. So in that, we can actually play a big role.
Interesting. Super interesting to know about you, and obviously, so much things to learn, like more in a deeper way if you talk about devices as a whole, actually.
Yes.
And it was great speaking with you. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you. It's wonderful. And I would congratulate you on this great job you're doing.
Thank you so much, sir.
And your team, very, very encouraging, because awareness is a very big aspect.
Correct. And today that is lacking a lot in
That's
the
lacking.
AI world.
Exactly.
Great.
Good.